Collectors of Everything, Experts of None podcast and the two idiots who host it take zero responsibility for the completely unfactual information that is sometimes expressed on said podcast. It also contains explicit language. Sorry, Mum. Collectors of Everything, Experts of None. All right, Collectors of Everything, Experts of None, episode 79.
79.
Hello.
It doesn't have the same ring to it, does it?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. That was a popular episode, the Bill and Ted one.
Yeah.
Did well. I just realised some rando one has done more views than every other episode, so I'll have to go and see what sort of chemistry was on that.
Yeah.
But how are we going?
Yeah, I'm good.
That's great. That's
Thanks,
great to
Neil.
hear. Yeah,
Yeah.
no problems.
Yeah.
I've
Been out shopping all day.
Today. Shopping?
Yeah. Yeah, I've been Hot Wheels hunting today.
Oh, yeah. Have you any treasure chests?
Absolutely fuck all.
Oh, sorry, treasure hunts. Not
Treasure
chests.
hunts.
Come on,
Yeah.
man. We're professionals.
Yeah. I have been seeing
Pardon
a lot
me.
more things like come up in like the Hot Wheels groups and stuff like that of other people going, oh, I bought this mystery treasure hunt thing and I didn't get a treasure hunt. I'm like,
You sent me that.
where were you like 2 months ago when I was
Yeah.
ranting about this?
It was hot off the press when you were ranting about it.
Yeah,
Everyone's just catching on now.
exactly.
All right, guys, if you're enjoying the episodes, make sure you can go back and watch all of them on YouTube too. There's 78 of them, so that's 78 hours.
This is episode
of watching
79, but there's 80 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work. I said 78. You can binge them all. Feel free. They're free. We don't even charge a subscription to watch them all. So make sure you're liking and subscribing to our channel on YouTube as well, where you get all the hits and misses, all the cool stuff and some of the really dull stuff and some of the ridiculous shorts that we do. That we think are really funny, and then they fall flat on their face. And then the ones we don't think are funny do remarkably well.
Yeah, people are like,
sure
wow, that's really interesting, Neil and Peter. And we're like,
intellectual.
dude, was a boring episode. We just had to fill this one. That's all.
We needed to do social media because people tell us to. God. Shout out to Stan. Hope you're well.
Do it again.
Shout out to Stan.
That makes up for last week, you dumbass.
Oh, yeah, I did miss it last week. That's the second time in history.
Yeah.
I've missed it, I think.
I know that Dave threw you off.
You were... Dave throws everybody off.
Yes, he
I'm
does.
joking. No, it was great to have Dave on last week. He's always good for some laughs and also some good insight as well. Some of the topics we were talking about, so appreciate that.
100%.
And when something happens in D&D, we'll have to get him back on as well. We didn't really talk about D&D last week, did we?
No, well, I mean, he was on for a reason, like talking about the show that he went to. And,
did you like how I got rid of his face when it came up with Dave? Did you see it? And it covered his whole face with all the names that we've called him over the... Oh, I'll have to put it up.
I did see that. That was pretty good, yeah.
I'll do it again, meow, and show you.
I was more annoyed that everything that came up, like all the photos and videos came up in the middle, which was where I was. So it was just you and Dave.
Say that. I knew you were going to say that. And that was deliberate.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sensitive, Neil.
It did actually come up perfectly in your little square.
Yeah.
So it was, that may have been planned. May not have been planned. Yeah. But anyway, let's get started.
Even the internet's against me, man.
No, they're not. No, they're not. All the good comments come because of you. Let's get started. You got a story here about Final Destination.
Yeah. Now, I can't say that I'm like a big Final Destination fan. Obviously, I've seen the first one and then I was like, yeah, I'm pretty much done there. No, I do always get weirded out every time that I drive past a truck that has lots of logs on it.
Yes.
So that does scare me.
That's right.
Did you actually see they use that as like a an advertising thing on like trucks that had logs in it? They put like the Final Destination, like to promote the movie.
Yeah,
I thought that's
that was
pretty
the first
clever
one
marketing.
Where there was a plane crash, wasn't there? And they all came off the plane because one of them freaked out.
Yeah, the dude from Idle Hands freaked out and was like, "Oh, plane's gonna crash."
Is that the one where he's screaming at his friend and he's walking backwards, and then the bus just goes vroom and just takes him out, or the truck takes him out?
Dude, to tell you the truth, it's been a long time since I watched Final Destination.
That should be 25, 30 years old, that show now.
Well, maybe.
I can have a quick look. I can tell you what I'm talking. Anyway, tell us.
Yeah, well, so I'm pretty sure it was in Argentina. A woman took her daughter and her friend for their birthday to go and see Final Destination.
Right.
Number, I think it's 6. I think it's the final one.
2000 was the first one.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah.
But I think the one that she was in the cinemas for, which is the one that's out now, is number 6. It's called Final Destination Final.
Bloodlines.
Okay, whatever, man.
Bloodlines. Yeah. I know. Because I'm looking at the internet. That's why.
And she was there. You go. She was like obviously in a different country, in Argentina, watching the movie, really sort of into it, getting towards the end of the movie, and the sound effects really kick on. And then a piece of the fucking ceiling falls and lands on top of her.
Killed her?
No. I think it like grazed her knee or something like that. So it's a bit of a stretch of a story. Like when I saw it, I was like, dude, she got smashed in front of her kid. She was like, nah. And then, she cracked the shits and might have got free popcorn for it. So something like that.
And put some Dettol on her knee.
Yeah. I mean, that's weird. It's got to be one of those things. If you are in that movie cinema and you don't die and something does fall from this, like, because you know how high the ceilings are in a cinema.
They're lofty.
Yeah. That's pretty high.
Yeah.
Something of any type of weight falls on top of you, you're going to cop an injury.
Generally.
So, yeah. So I guess she's like on edge now for the rest of her life, waiting for death to catch her.
Well, that's true. It's obviously
because he has been robbed of soul.
That's true. That was probably the furthest stretch story I've ever heard. Final Destination versus actually not dying. If she died, not that that's a nice thing at all, but that would have made a lot more sense. And
it would have made for a much better story.
Yeah, but she was meant to see the movie 2 days earlier, but her car broke down, and then she ended up getting to the cinema finally, and then got killed. Yeah, and it'd be like,
I mean, it's pretty bad luck to sit in that seat. I can't believe that the cinema in Final Destination is absolutely packed.
Yeah, there could have been 3 people in the cinema. That would have made it even more interesting.
Yeah.
See, now you're talking about good stories. Just make it up next time like that.
Okay, I'll just completely fabricate a story next time. Do you want to stop and we'll start again and I'll fabricate the story?
No. Anyway, let's move on. Good story.
Okay. Shut up, Neil.
I wonder what sort of quality number 6 is for Final Destination. I mean, how many people have been killed? I think they get the storyline. I think the plot is wearing thin. Although, listen, again, I go back to the fantastic franchise of Fast and Furious, which started out as racing cars, actual proper racing cars in the early 2000s or 99. And now they've gone into space in number 10.
Yeah.
So we're moving forward. It's good to see there's some original cinemas coming out. Original movies coming out in cinemas.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like that was an original cinema if the ceiling's fallen.
100%. So, speaking of cinemas, there has been a delay, supposedly for 6 months, in regards to Doomsday.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
I mean,
it could be one of these. They're trying to get this franchise kickstarted again.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things. I don't think it matters when it comes out. People are still going to flock to the cinemas to see it. I think
absolutely
this week. I think they had some leaked footage, or even just like actual stills come out that were leaked of them sort of shooting and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't want to wreck it. Like, I don't really want to know anything about it. I think Avengers is one of those ones. It's kind of like Star Wars, where when it comes out at the cinemas and there's massive hype before it and the lead up. Pardon me. I'll watch the trailer.
Yeah.
But I'm not watching, theories or, pre-screening people coming out and doing talks about it and things like that. So
no, that's fair. But unlike the other franchise, which I think people will flock to, and it's going to obviously break records when it comes out, is Grand Theft Auto, which they've been spruiking it for 12 months at least now that it's about to come out, and now they said it's delayed again. So, but it's going to be a serious game. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. But again, same thing. It could be delayed for 3 years, and people will still go out and get it. I'll buy it.
Yeah,
pardon me.
I won't.
Anyway, 6 months delay.
Is that one of those games that is like on a certain console only?
No.
That's across
you can
the
get
board?
it anywhere. Yeah.
Okay.
You get it on PC. You can get it on Steam.
Yeah, because it's been really weird. Like now with, I can't remember what it's called, but there's like a new thing that's come out where you can now start getting Xbox games on PlayStation. You can get PlayStation games on Xbox and things like that.
Cool.
Like the ones that were exclusive.
I don't have either. So, no. I don't know.
I got a Switch.
Yeah, I got a Switch. Switch is the best.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about it because we're a modern podcast that talks about pop culture. Unfortunately, we have to talk about these things.
Yeah.
The Labubu. Lububu?
Labubu.
How do you actually pronounce it?
I don't fucking know.
Well, I should find out.
You gotta look up the phonetics. You know, this is stuff that you should do before the show starts.
No, I'm that smart. I can do it mid. Oh, I spelled it wrong.
Well, did you know? Like, actually, since that, I think we went on, and was it a week ago or 2 weeks ago that we first spoke about it?
Lubabu.
Labubu.
Yeah, like a toilet. Lubabu, as in scared.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
But so now, like,
breaking the big things on this show.
Like, I think this has been broken before.
Yeah. So you sent me a video of these. Last week. And you can tell your story.
Well, we'd been speaking about this like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago when it first sort of started exploding and people went, ape shit for it. So
there was a guy. Sorry to interrupt. There was a guy that said he saw it coming early. The Australian guy, and he got them
who was a sneakerhead.
And he's made 10 million out of it.
Yeah, dude's done very well. I mean, there's always going to be stories about these guys who are trolling and see stuff early and go, I've got the capital to do this. Maybe this is something that's going to take over in Australia, and obviously it has.
It's done well. The CEO's made 1.6 billion in a day. A 204% increase in profits. Anyway,
it's crazy, man.
Continue.
So, I think as my feed has started to get a little bit more sort of in depth into what it is, there's a lot of stuff going on in this industry, in the little figurines industry.
Okay.
One I've seen, I now know that the fakes are called Fabubus.
As in fake boo-boos?
Yeah, well, I assume
that's original.
It could be fucked boo-boos. That could be the same thing. Thing is, like, the boxes look exactly the same, but apparently it's meant to have like a QR code on the back of the box. Okay. It doesn't, and if it doesn't have the QR code, it's not an actual legit Labubu.
Lububu, Peter.
Lububu. Oh, yeah, whatever, man. They fucking know what I'm talking about.
I'll put it on the screen.
Okay.
Lububu.
But so then I've seen another one of apparently that this craze has started almost not. I'm not going to say a crime spree, but people are wearing them on their handbags. They're wearing them on their belts and chains and stuff like that. It's now started a thing where people are actually walking up and cutting them. As they walk past and nicking them off people.
They're nicking them?
Yeah, they're nicking them. So there's actually posts of people that are getting like little luggage locks, and instead of using the actual strap, they're putting luggage locks around their neck so that you can't cut them. I'm like, dude, we're getting a little bit like crazy here at the moment.
Well, it's a little bit like making mobile phones so crappy and flimsy you have to buy a cover for them every time.
Oh, yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Yeah, but I'm not sure how that relates to it, Neil, but yeah, keep going.
Well, just buying things that aren't practical.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But the story that we were talking about was there was a guy in LA that pretty much set up like a tattoo workstation out the front of one of these stores that are selling them, and he was doing custom tattoos onto like the monster faces and stuff like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I'm sorry, Neil. Are we keeping you up?
I think it's the first we've ever yawned on the podcast.
Yeah. Dude.
Getting old. Sorry.
What the hell, man?
It wasn't you. Keep going.
Oh, yeah. Yes, we'll start another story, hey?
No,
this
sorry.
Thing's like taking the world over, and you're like, oh, well.
Yeah, let's move on.
Let's go back to Dr. Doom. So, yeah.
Well, we can if you want. I've got another couple of things we can talk about.
But yeah, look, it looks really cool. So people were coming up and lining up to get this guy who's, using an actual tattoo gun and putting, like stars, hearts and stuff and like names and things and giving these Labubus like literally like face tattoos and making them personal. So I'm sure it destroys any type of monetary value that they have if you try to resell them.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not sure of whether they have to stay in the box to be able to be like to hold their resale value.
We should probably dig in a bit deeper and see what the deal is with them. But
I'm pretty sure that these things, they've got like the blind chasers and stuff like that. So technically, I think you probably have to open them to know what you've got.
Yeah.
So
they are blind for sure. They're like a white box. There's no clear plastic on them, I don't think. You see inside.
But I
But
mean,
anyway,
I don't know what they sell for, but I watched a guy. I think he might have been in Sydney or Melbourne,
yeah,
and he was trying to buy all the ones that they had there, and they were offering him for $25 a pop.
yeah,
And he was like, yeah, I don't know about that. And then turns out that's where he was talking about the QR code on the back saying that, that it's an actual fake. And for
right,
something that we only sort of found out about 2 or 3 weeks ago
yeah,
to now already have fakes like rocking into retail stores,
yeah,
that's pretty gnarly, man. It shows you
yeah.
how big the market is for it.
They're
So
they're $95.
90 a piece.
Yeah, then you can buy them. There's all different sorts of ones though. There's ones for $15. There's one for 250, 65. I think there's just different versions of them. That's what it is.
I think there's different sizes of them too. Like some are
Yeah.
big, some are small.
Yeah. Yeah. Any other sizes?
Medium.
Some are big, some are small. Man, you've done the research today.
Wow.
All right, let's move on. So anyway, they're quite popular, and things are getting popular when they start filtering into school, and then
Oh, really?
I start hearing about it when people are coming home.
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
you've actually sort of like, obviously this is something that my boys aren't going to be into, but
No,
you've
no,
actually,
I've heard, and I just turned around and said, "What are you, a rookie 9-year-old? I've been talking about it for 2 weeks. What's wrong with you?"
yeah, come
So
on.
anyway, kicked her
She's
out.
like, whatever, Dad. You have a podcast that has tens of listeners.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's all I say is, how many listeners does your podcast have?
She's
0.
like, I hate you, and runs off.
Anyway, hey, bit of an update from last week. So I went on a soft rant in regards to not being able to get into the Australians cards and collectibles show, Australian Trading Card Show. I forget what it's called now. Anyway,
Was that at Hurstville?
it was at Hurstville. Actually, the other one, the one I did the piece on last time,
The record one.
yeah, that was on again today.
Did you go?
No, I didn't. I was busy.
Don't you ever give me shit about not getting videos again? Like,
what are you talking about? I did get the video last time. I'm going to go do the same thing in the same.
Oh no, I saw the video. I've been on an escalator before.
Yeah. Oh, that video. I technically got a video for that too. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we did a short where I was relaying my disgust in regards to the setup of this thing.
Yeah.
And so that would have been Tuesday night, maybe Wednesday night. And within 30 minutes, I got messages saying you're 100% on point and you're correct. And then I got photos from inside this place, and the comments were, then if fire broke out in here, everyone's gone.
Everybody's dead.
It was packed. Really packed.
I mean,
you go.
I don't know. I was going to say, from those photos, like I've sold at these types of things before. Yeah. We've been to these types of things before. These photos, there was maybe 3 to 4 feet, maybe a meter.
It was a seat. There was a seat, basically. That was it.
Between, like, the aisles.
Yeah, where people were selling.
For each people to be able to sell.
It was madness.
It was ridiculous, man.
So the person that spoke to me, they were there. And they said, it was pretty crazy. And they were venting their frustration as well. So supposedly 100%. The previous one was even worse. So hopefully these guys catch on and they start getting bigger venues. It's not that hard to get a big venue in Sydney, surely.
Oh, yeah.
There's places everywhere, even probably decent places that are not as fancy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where they were in Hurstville was a pretty nice club. It's not a crappy club. It's some good yumcha there. Yeah. Anyway, so I got some feedback that I wasn't too far off the point, particularly for prepaid tickets.
It doesn't.
If you got prepaid, you should go straight in before anybody else and stuff like that. So,
but anyway, it doesn't look like they're sort of short of getting people through the door. I mean,
not at all.
A bigger venue is only going to allow more people to come in, more people, more traders to come in. Like,
I'm telling you, there was 1 o'clock when I was there, and I should have taken the video of the line.
Yeah.
But right at the end of that video, you can see there's a rope and there was a lady standing there, and everyone was sort of parked off to the side. So it looked like it was like a free walk-in. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so my final quote will be, just do a bit better. That's all. And make sure everyone can get in.
I guess at least they were trying to do the right thing fire code-wise of not, letting too many people in. But my biggest take from that whole show was, I know how often I've heard from different vendors and things like that of people with sticky fingers.
Yep.
Walking
It
past.
would have been hard to see.
Man, that would have, with that amount of people in that crave space.
And there's a lot of stuff too.
Yeah, if you didn't have like those Perspex cases, like you actually had stuff out on your table, man, like that would have been seriously hard to have kept track of.
Absolutely.
So, and I mean, it sucks, but unfortunately, it is part of the hobby.
Yeah,
it's one of those things. There's always going to be people out there trying to, well, pretty much just brazenly steal.
Oh, we've got a great story a bit later about something like that.
Yeah, and that's only like from today, isn't it?
It was yesterday. I think.
Yesterday. Okay. All right.
Anyway,
cool.
Hey, guess what? Good news. Neil does the numbers is back, or Neil's numbers is back.
Oh yeah!
I still haven't confirmed what the actual title is, but you'll see it pop up now because we do awesome graphics on this podcast.
Yeah.
Shing, shing.
Was that when it came up?
Shing. It's come up 3 times now. Actually, it sits for a little while. So shing. There it is again. All right. Hey, this is a good story.
Is it?
There's a guy who has cracked 200 Pokemon cards out of the PSA packaging.
Yeah.
I still don't know how they do that without damaging the card. But anyway, and he's regraded them to see what will happen. So, in a new episode of Neil Does the Numbers, I'm going to tell you how many actually went up and down and stayed the same. Okay. So there's a couple of Pikachu cards that he got back that came back 10s from 9s to 10s. The write-up, they were saying that there was one that a PSA 9's about $2,000. A PSA 10
9 is about
was
$2,000.
About $5,500.
Are we talking like old Pokemon?
Yeah, we're talking Japanese Pokemon, and there was a couple of them. There was this guy obviously collects Pikachus, I'm assuming. But there was 3 or 4 Pikachus which went up significantly, like in the thousands.
Okay.
So it cost $6,000 to get these all graded, and they were upcharged as well, because when a $1,000 card becomes a $5,000 card, the insurance changes and everything like that. So they charge more. So $6,000 for 200 cards to get graded.
Is that including what he actually paid for the cards, or that's
no, that's the cost to get the grading done. $6,000 for 200 cards. Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
It's pretty steep. Yeah. What's that? Oh, I can't
even $30 a card?
Is it $30 a card? Just talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, $30 a card. That's not too bad. That's I think.
Do you have to use a calculator for that?
Yeah, of course I do. I don't want to get it wrong. That'd be even worse if I did it in my head and got it wrong. Anyway, so they're all Pokemon cards. So I was thinking, right, is that a viable investment? Cracking it at 9s and then reinvesting in $6,000 to go and get some hits. Now, out of one card, he's got $3,000.
Yeah.
Right. So he's made 50% back on one card. So that's 199 cards. Well, actually, I lied. 11 of them got downgraded. So he went in as a 9. One came out as an 8. One quite valuable one came out as an 8, I believe. But how many do you think went from a 9 to a 10 before I get into the numbers?
So they were all 9s, were they?
They were all 9s.
Okay.
And
so
the theory was how many are going to go up, how many are going to stay the same, and how many are going to go down. So 11 have gone down, which I think is pretty good.
Yeah, I wouldn't complain about that. That's
probably where he's got the pliers and accidentally nipped the card or something, probably when he's trying to take him out.
Exactly. Plastic does shatter in different ways, obviously. But I would say maybe 30% went up.
Okay.
So what would that be?
If we did an average card at $50, right?
Yep.
Okay, so 108 stayed the same.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And 81 went to 10.
Damn.
Yeah. Now, I was looking at the numbers, right? So they say that a 9 to a 10 is basically... So a 9's about 50 to 60% of the value of a 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say they double, right?
Yeah.
So even if all those cards were at $50, the 81 cards, and they doubled to 100, right? So that's $4,050. So they've all gone to $8,000 basically for the cards. Okay, so it cost you $6,000. Now we know that one of them was $3,000 that he got back. So it's absolutely an investment. A good investment.
Well, it's a
And
slow
it's
burn.
absolutely ridiculous that PSA have regraded 81 of them to a 10.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, I guess that's probably the joys of Pokemon not being numbered. Like you couldn't really sort of do this with anything else.
Yeah.
As in like a graded numbered card, like a 101 or something like that, because
No,
obviously
of course not.
they have records of that being there. They'd be just like, motherfucker, I'm giving you a 9 again. But this has always been my thing with...
Yeah, well, no, not necessarily. Oh, one of ones maybe, but yeah, I get what you're saying. So you're saying they'd have to be in set cards.
Well, unless you went from... You bought like 9s from Beckett and then graded them with PSA. And there's no sort of cross-pollination of, PSA checking different types of things. I guess that would work. But I've always said this about grading. It's you get someone on a bad day, someone who's, whose wife, husband, partner cracked the shits at them before they went to work and they walked to work kicking rocks.
We should do it. I should get 5 9s and send them off again and see what they come back as.
I mean, obviously it's a monetary thing. Like, you do have to pay for it.
I'll use your card. That's fine. So
that's fine. Yeah. I don't care.
81.
It's my wife you have to deal with, dude.
I still can't believe 81.
Not me.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's always been that thing, and it's a strange sort of scenario, and it depends on the guy that you get on the day for the grade that you get.
Yeah. I'm going to do it. I'm convinced.
Okay.
Next week, I'll show 5 cards and then we'll send them off.
Yeah. Look, I think with that
and
whole
then I'll try
thing
and break them live on the show out of the place.
Yeah. And I will send
that one's gone.
I will send you some videos of how to do this properly. We don't just break them over our knees, Neil.
Yeah.
That's not how we do it.
Yeah. Oh, so it's not like karate through the bricks.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. No. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's you're going to be losing more money.
So just for your knowledge, so PSA 9s, as I said, 50 to 60% of the value of a PSA 10.
Yeah.
So the PSA 9s typically sell for 1.5 to 2 times the value of a raw card.
Yeah.
On average, and then the PSA 10s typically sell for between 3 to 6 times the raw cards.
Yeah.
So what that tells me is that most of the cards that get graded are shit.
Yep.
Anyway, let's move on. Oh, so that's Neil's numbers. Done.
Yep.
Dusted. Episode 79. It's been a while.
I do watch a fair few videos of like people doing reveals of their grades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they will put down, like on the screen, they'll have the money that they invested into the cards, like to get the cards, and then what it cost to grade. And then as they turn them around, it drops. It's very rare to see them come out in the negative.
Yeah. Well, I reckon I've got a few Spider-Man cards that are 9s.
Yep.
So we'll send those because that's going to give you the best return.
Yeah.
Not that I'm going to sell them, but
no.
the monetary value of the return.
Yeah. I wish that those holograms from that Marvel set did better in grading, but they're so...
Oh, yeah, the hologram.
They're so stringent on those because...
I think I've got like a 6
any
or something
type of,
for that.
Yeah, any type of streak that actually comes from the fucking manufacturer can wreck it. Like, those cards were minty von mint.
Yeah.
And...
Well, they were out of the box.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah. That was a rare card too out of that box. I was lucky to get that card. That was the number one 92, I think it was, the Marvel set.
I love those hologram cards. They were so rad.
They're pretty cool.
So, and they had the sparkle ones as well, didn't they? That they had the full, 9 different cards.
The full set of those. Yeah.
So,
and then they're the silver ones, and then there's the gold ones as well.
Yeah.
And the gold ones are pretty valuable.
Yeah.
Then the next. Yeah, anyway, we could talk about Marvel cards all day. But anyway.
We could, yeah.
They're great. The 90s cards are great. But yeah, they are rare and they're mostly worthless, those 90s cards now. But the ones that kick a 10, like a Spider-Man kick a 10, rock and roll, $500 straight up.
Oh, 100%, man.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
But I think we have something to talk about with Marvel cards as well a little bit later, which is a really interesting story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're not Marvel cards, but yeah, they are cards.
Why aren't they Marvel?
Because they're Disney.
No, but they're still Marvel.
Well,
Disney is Marvel. Marvel is Disney.
Okay.
Well, okay, so comparing them to 90s Marvel cards is different because obviously Marvel was its own entity back then.
Mm.
But nowadays, anything
Well, like
concerning
I say,
Marvel, you have
Disney-
to talk about the House of Mouse.
Disney should have one set of cards that they keep bringing out with all the different characters in there. Why they're not bringing Marvel out on Lacana, I do not know.
Yeah.
Anyway, they should. They should just care. They must be getting paid a lot of money from
Maybe
fanatics.
to lob. Do you know what, man? Lacana's gone really quiet.
No, it's still there. You just haven't seen it. We haven't been talking about it, so your phone's not listening to you. Now I've said it, Lacana, your phone's going to hear it, and then you're going to start seeing it when you sit down in the lounge later.
I don't even know what my phone is, dude.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, you're in luck.
Yeah,
you know why?
100%.
Why? Do you know why? Because it's time for Wombat Time.
Wombat Host. I'm getting really good at that. If I don't mind saying. I don't. Fuck.
In 1917...
Even Dave didn't know what it was.
Yeah, because Dave's a loser, just like you, okay? And it's lucky they let you both on this show. If I had better options, I would take them.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. But I don't know anyone else. So
yeah.
I can only speak to you and Dave, and that's it.
It sucks when you're only friends with your brother. Yeah.
Hey, 1979, some cool things are happening. It's getting better. We're getting towards the 80s.
Yeah.
No, is it 8 or 9? What episode is this? We're on episode 80 next week.
Yeah.
Yes, the good stuff starts happening.
It does.
Oh, thank God.
1979.
ESPN began broadcasting.
Really?
No, I'm lying to you.
Fuck.
In June of 19... He got you good last week.
You make me do this. You make me drink.
He got you good last night. With the
I did, yeah.
In June.
I looked at the subtitles and it went...
I know. Did you see that? Yeah. In June, McDonald's started the Happy Meal in 1979 with the great collectibles. Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them are pretty valuable nowadays, particularly the plastic burgers and chips that turn into...
They transform.
Burger things. Yeah.
They transform into robots.
Oh, do they turn into actual robots?
Not in disguise.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Hey, here's a cool fact for you. Pittsburgh Pirates won the Major League Baseball World Series. The same year the Steelers won the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
It would have been a great party in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, that would have been crazy.
Yeah.
That was like if the Broncos and the Lions actually won the same time. But they didn't. They bombed it.
They did.
Fucking
Lions and who? Broncos?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
last year.
Yeah.
No, the year before. They were both in the finals. And they both lost. They
were winning at halftime too.
Yeah, it was stupid.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you,
Yep.
Nathan Cleary.
Yeah.
Movies that came out. Pretty recognisable movies. Superman, Man of Steel came out.
Yeah.
Christopher Reeves. Rocky 2 came out. And they're good movies. I like them. Your favourite genre, James Bond, Moonraker came out, which was a pretty good one. Monty Python's Life of Brian. I don't have any collectibles.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, I don't have any collectibles on this because I didn't have time and I couldn't be bothered. But
fair enough.
Movies, yeah. Monty Python, Life of Brian. Mad Max came out in 1979 that boosted Mel Gibson into Stalinism.
Yep. And made all Australians look like psychopaths.
Yeah, basically. Yep. It was a pretty hardcore movie when you watch it now.
Dude, it was a great movie. Yeah. Like, Mad Max is still watchable now.
That coffin and the bike and stuff, people are going, holy shit, what are these people drinking in Australia?
Yeah, man. Like, it was a great movie.
And the hand on the handcuff?
Well, to think that, like, they're still making Mad Max movies up to, like, a couple of years ago, with Tom Hardy and Charlize Theron. Oh, is there?
No, man. Thor was in the last one.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. I'm talking about the one before.
Tom Hardy.
That's what I said. Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
And
top
actor.
Charlize Theron.
Yeah. Her.
Tom Hardy. What a guy. That was a good movie.
It was
that one. Yeah, it was good.
I didn't like the Thor one. I didn't think
the Thor one was ordinary.
Yeah.
Because he has the same voice. If he put the Thor stuff on, he'd be exactly the same person.
Well,
I don't think he can play anything different.
No.
Because that voice he has all the time.
The Aussie accent.
Which is the Aussie English.
Yeah.
Like, yes.
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 This is my.
Yes, you're
This
in
is
charge.
my daughter.
You're in
Yes.
charge of this ship. Of course you are.
Yes.
That's a good ending. That
Yes,
bit.
my friend.
Michael Jackson released Off the Wall.
Which one was that?
Dun, dun, dun. Okay,
Would-
dun, 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 dun,
I didn't ask you to sing.
Shamao.
That's Shamona. That's the one. It's like the white cover
stop
with
till
like
you
off
get
the
it.
wall written in like the.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
That wasn't. That wasn't Thriller, was it? Thriller wasn't on that. Is Thriller its own album?
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a movie.
So
A mini movie.
yeah. Well, man, it's one of the best film clips of all time. I mean, there's only
it's
a
top
few
film clip, yeah.
film clips that you remember as being like epic.
Yeah.
November Rain's one of them.
Stan.
Stan was a great one.
Yeah. Well, actually, that was the guy out of Final Destination who was in Stan.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. That's
Yeah,
weird.
fun fact.
Yeah. I always go back to Idle Hands. I remember him from Idle Hands.
that was a
'Cause
good
Idle
movie.
Hands was a much better movie than Final Destination.
Yeah. What other iconic film clips have there been? They don't make them much anymore, do they? Film clips? They still make film clips.
Bohemian Rhapsody was a big one.
Yeah.
That was a really big film clip.
All the Small Things was a good film clip.
Yeah, I that definitely sort of made a big impact for punk bands. Like, dude, they were running around naked. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So there's actually other bands from like Southern California. Like I know Unwritten Law had a song called Holiday, and they did a film clip, and halfway through it, Blink-182 run through it naked. So
That's pretty good.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it was definitely one of I've got pop vinyls of them naked.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Of all three of them.
You
So
buy pop vinyls of naked men. That's good, man. Good stuff.
I bought it
All right.
for my wife.
On that
Thank you.
note, let's move on.
Yeah.
But yes, Michael Jackson, very sad. Very sad.
If he's dead.
Would he be making good music still, you reckon? He was going to release an album before he died, wasn't he? I'm sure he was going on tour, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it started getting sort of soppier and soppier, like, Heal the World and stuff like that. You were like, oh.
What's wrong with healing the world, Peter? Do you not have a soul?
No, I don't. I sold that a long time ago.
Fun fact. The day he died is the day I asked my wife to marry me. And that's the reason why I know. So there you go.
I'm sure she's going to love that coming
with every
out
negative
on the internet.
point, there's always a positive point. Or
When
that
one
could be
door
two
closes,
negative points.
one door opens.
Sure. So my sorrow was short-lived. Now her sorrow is long-lived. All right. Hey, here's a story that came out in the news the other day. Now, there's a lot to unpack into this because I'm just not sure what's going on here, and it could be a ruse. A ruse?
A ruse.
A ruse?
Ruse.
Lububu?
No, a ruse.
Lubabu. Get it right.
Yeah, whatever.
A guy had a number of cards that were Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
To the tune of $8,000, supposedly. Mm-hmm. So if he's a Pokemon collector, it's probably only $2,000. He's just saying it's $8,000. Anyway, the 100%. Point is, there's thousands of dollars worth of cards here. Mm-hmm. He has gone to meet somebody to do a trade or to sell the cards.
Yep.
Oh, I'm mic down. Hang on. He's gone to a car park in a little place called Shell Harbour. Now, Shell Harbour is past Wollongong in Sydney. So it's not the most dense place in the world.
Was that where they made Round the Twist?
I don't know.
Okay.
No, that was in South Australia, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. No, I'm not pretty sure. But I'm pretty sure it was down south.
God, you talk some shit sometimes. Yeah, it's like, shut up, Peter. I'll give you an answer. Just deal with that. Yeah.
Yeah. He robbed him. Met the guy. The guy's robbed him. But here's the funny thing. Police are looking for this guy. Right?
Yeah.
So, first of all, why the fuck have you gone to a car park with $8,000 worth of Pokemons on your own to someone you've never met before?
And then allowed yourself to get the shit beaten out of you.
You've been jumped. Yep. Issue 2. Do Kung Fu. Weird thing 3. And the guy got away in a red Mustang with grey stripes.
With grey stripes.
How many red Mustangs are in Shell Harbour with red stripes?
How many? Dude, hire a fucking car, man.
This is the greatest news story I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, my God. I
Yeah.
mean, who drives their own car? Look, obviously it's going to come out that, there was a discussion and someone beefed someone and, rah,
Yeah.
rah. And,
Yeah.
but
They drag raced and then he lost. Pink slips. Pokemon
pink
slips.
slips, yeah. But I mean,
Jesus Christ. I'm listening to this the other day going, even
So
I can find this guy.
so this happened. So we're filming on a
Sunday.
Sunday. This happened on Saturday.
I'm pretty sure it happened yesterday.
So yeah, I mean, God, I mean, imagine being that dude. Like, oh yeah, I'm the Pokemon guy who got mugged
By a wanker in a red Mustang.
in a Mustang, man. In a
Wankers.
Mustang. Oh man.
Anyway,
you feel sorry for the guy.
Anything. I wouldn't have even gone to the police. I'd be like, I collect Pokemon cards and I got beat up by somebody who drives a Mustang.
Yeah.
I'm going to start collecting Marvel.
Yeah.
I'm done. Anyway, I hope he gets his cards back.
It's almost as bad as the dude had like a VN Holden or something like that. It's like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
come
true.
on, bud. You
Yeah.
know. But, I mean, look, it doesn't say, obviously it was a mainstream news article, so it didn't sort of go into the details.
No, it was legit. One of the big...
No.
Yeah.
I mean in the fact that, like, we didn't know if the cards were graded because obviously he would have had, the serial numbers.
They must have been graded. They would have had to have been graded. You wouldn't be buying $8,000 worth of cards not getting graded.
Not raw, no.
Raw
Unless you had,
that aren't graded.
Unless you had ETB boxes, like,
Yeah.
maybe, but at the same time, why would you bother?
Yeah.
Like, and why would you meet in a fucking car park?
Meet at a McDonald's, man.
A McDonald's, a shopping center. Like, there's so many different...
Anyway.
A Zarafas or a Starbucks.
Take
like,
note, kids.
Yeah.
Don't meet strange people in Mustangs in car parks.
Just don't meet people in car parks. You want to make a deal?
Best story
as long as it's not drugs.
And I feel really bad.
Do it somewhere, like, in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even if it is, still do it in public because I've heard of heaps of stories about drug dealers getting jumped.
Oh, yeah. And nobody cares anymore, man.
Nah.
Like, seriously.
It's sort of like there's shootings in a city and it's like, it was targeted. Ah, cool.
Yeah.
No
well, then it doesn't affect me.
Nope. Anyway, let's move on. That was funny. So, look, in all seriousness, I hope he gets his cards back. Yeah. And he probably thinks twice before he goes and meets someone to trade cards in a car park.
Could you try and get insurance on that? Like, I mean, how do you justify that?
I don't know. Who owns the car park? Technically, it's their fault.
God. You know what? Right. I'd love to get some money back from those goddamn heathens that own those car parks that I have to pay for so often.
Hmm.
You going to the beach? It's $9 to park for half an hour.
Hey, there's a car park. There's a bank of, don't quote me, on 3 car parks or 4 car parks in Sydney City under, I forget what the apartment block's called, but it's on Phillip Street. They just sold for $1.4 million for 4 car parks.
I've known for a long time that
amazing.
if you could actually invest into owning car parks, like just even a couple of spaces,
I reckon this is what this podcast needs. Collectors of finance, experts of non-finance. Might get in trouble for that one from the powers that be. But anyway, so anyway, 1.4 million or something like that. Don't start giving financial advice.
No financial advice.
All right, here we go.
If there's a whole period there, people that's just a beep, you know why.
And a disclaimer pops up in red writing. So, you know a bit about this story too. There seems to be a bit of an issue with quality control over at Topps Fanatics. So the Disney Genesis set has a 1-of-1 of Ghost Spider.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure it has more than one of one, but yeah. The
1-of-1 of the card we're talking about in question is of Ghost Spider. Yeah. Thank you for clarification, Peter. Please, butt it again.
Now
it got pulled.
It did.
Yeah, I'll put a picture up now.
Yeah.
Meow.
But
now, did the first one get pulled in a break?
I think they were both in breaks.
Okay, so the first one got pulled in a break, and then
I kind of just gave the story away.
A second one got pulled in a break. All right, collectors of everything, experts of none.
That's it. Yeah, we're over it. Sorry, people.
They pulled 2 1-of-1s.
2 1-of-1s,
like legit on camera.
Yeah,
pulled it. So it's not a ruse. It's not a ruse.
So a ruse. God damn it. When you send me this story, I was like, dude, it's got to be fake. Like straight away.
Well, because we've heard this before.
100%.
Yeah.
But they've literally got footage of these guys opening the packs and going, "Oh yeah, 101, Ghost Spider, it's a great thing." I mean,
and
you
guess
know
what? Guess what Fanatics have said?
What?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Crickets.
What do you say?
Are these guys that big now, Fanatics, that they just don't give a shit about cards or anything? They just keep pumping whatever they want out and everyone just eats it up.
The problem is, Neil, this is not going to stop people collecting. This is not going to have any effect on their monetary value that they make.
Wouldn't Disney sit there and go, what are you guys doing to our brand? You're pulling out cards 2 one-of-ones. Now, technically, if you can get your hands on both of those one-of-ones, that's a story. That'll be some dollars.
If you got 2 one-of-ones, 100%. Yeah.
I'd be saying to whoever else has one, dude, let's put them together.
When our powers combine, we're like Captain Money.
Captain Money, he's a hero. Gonna take financials down to... No, that doesn't make sense.
The financials...
Down to 0.
Yeah,
up to more
than what it was
more
meant to
zeros.
Be. Yeah.
Yes.
Well saved, Neil. Well saved.
Thank you.
Look, it's one of those things that I think we're so used to seeing these stories come out and them going, oh, it's fake. It's, obviously someone's doctored it. They've made a copy of it.
Yeah.
You can't trust what this one is. I think the reason why this is such a big thing is because it's actually caught live on camera. You can't fake this.
Yeah, you can't get out of it. You can't get out of it.
But
what do you do? So it obviously pulls the value down. So it's 1 of 2 now. It's not 1 of 1.
But the fact of the matter is, Panini do this shit all the time.
Yeah, but no one collects Panini.
Plenty of people collect Panini, man. Plenty of people collect
Panini are like on the outliers of like getting sued for stealing people's names, and like they're insane. Those guys, they don't care.
No.
Anyway, so the question comes out. Ghost Spiders, obviously, there's a 1 of 2, not a 1 of 1.
Yeah.
What if you're holding? I don't know what other cards are in this pack, in this set. I haven't looked at it, but I'm assuming there's a Spider-Man card in there. What if you get the 1 of 1 Spider-Man, and then you're like, oh shit, maybe
sell
there's
it.
2 Spider-Mans.
Yeah, sell
Good point. Good point.
100%.
Yeah.
Or get it graded straight away.
Yeah, what's grading going to do to it?
It's
still could be a second one. Oh no, because the grading would say 1 of 1.
1 of 1. It's legit.
I still lose value.
Well, you can't. I mean, that's a paradox. Like PSA can't put a label on there of a 1 of 1 if they have a serial number that says there's 2 in existence.
So be that guy. Get in there first.
100% be that fucking guy.
I'd definitely contact the other person and go, listen, we're on a winner here. Let's go call Uncle Golden and sell the 2 1 of 1s as that. He'd be onto it like...
Well, dude, if you're a Spider-Man collector, that becomes a grail piece because it's an error card. Anything
there's only
that
one
has
grail piece for Spider-Man, and that's the 1966 rookie card.
How's that working out for you, Neil?
I've still got it.
No, I know. How's it working out?
Well, it's not working anywhere. It's just sitting in a case.
Exactly.
Oh.
The Spider-Man grail piece.
What do you think? I should sell it?
To me, the Spider-Man grail piece is the Marvel Diamond Collection signed Tom Holland 1 of 1. That's the grail piece for Spider-Man in my book.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, I disagree.
I don't think you could get a higher valued Spider-Man card than that.
Is that the Diamond Marvel Black Series?
Oh,
yeah, with the 5 colored diamonds on there.
Yeah, it's like it's got the Infinity Stones across it. Yeah,
you can still buy those cases, by the way. I was looking the other day. Yeah, $2,000.
$2,000.
Yeah, for a case.
I remember talking about them, and they were like $7,000 and $8,000, weren't they?
No,
back in the day when they first came out.
I think they were $1,800. They're like a Diamond series or something.
Yeah. It's flawless, isn't it? Oh, flawless is what they call the actual sports cards. The baseball's flawless, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, there's hockey that's flawless as well.
Okay. Yeah. So
yeah. So anyway, I don't know. I'd be a bit annoyed, I think, if I had that card.
Well, yeah, I'd look at it as an error card. Whether PSA grade it, or wherever you send it to, grade it as an error card. Yeah, I don't know. But
Would you? Oh, I suppose they would. It would be an error because it's a mistake.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a mistake without being a mistake. I'm sure that when they make these cards, you can't tell me that they only make one of
Well,
them.
sure, they'd see it, wouldn't they? The quality control. If you're putting a printing plate down and making a one of one card, you've made two.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if so in my mind,
Yeah.
you would print 10.
Really?
And you would take the best one, the cleanest card.
Nah,
You know,
I think you're thinking too much into it. I think you're thinking that these guys are too highly.
This is a $1 billion business.
Yeah, they don't care. Clearly, they don't care.
Yeah, well, clearly they don't fucking care. I mean, that's been shown
Because people
just
keep
by
buying them, so they just eat them up.
yeah. And I this is not going to affect Fanatics. It's not going to affect Disney. It's not going to do anything.
No.
If
But
anything,
I still think it's
it will.
a bad look.
If anything, it will add value to that card.
Yeah, I agree.
But if I had one of the other one-on-ones, I'd be fucking getting rid of it as quick as I could.
Getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Getting rid of it.
Yep.
I love it. All right. Collectors of everything, experts of none. Hey, episode 80 next week.
Holy shit, we're into the 80s. That's where we were born.
I know. How good were the 80s? The best.
There were a time.
Collectors of everything, experts of none, episode 79, signing out.
Bye-bye.
Collectors of everything, experts of none.